Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Ray's Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.
Happy 64th Independence, Nigeria, and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Musayome Saleh. Hello. Today, unfortunately, Messi and I are just together in the studio. Hi, Messi. And she intentionally did not wear any color that represents Nigeria.
But I did yesterday.
No. That was yesterday, and I told you to wear today, and you insisted that you don't have any reason to celebrate.
Wait. Now
I will cast you. I will throw you under the
bus.
no, not the bus, now under the bulldozer.
Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm not, looking.
Why are you not representing Nigerian color? I told you, wear white, wear something.
But I don't have anything white in my collection, and the last white I have is still with my dry cleaner, so I haven't been able to get that. So literally, I don't have any white. And the last green I had, I wore yesterday, never even thinking about today. Plus, I was looking forward to wearing the Unity fabric that the first that was launched. It was today we were supposed to wear it. It's not white and green. I wanted to wear the national ashwabi. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford it.
I give up. I give up on you. I give up. You just intentionally did not want to be patriotic.
No. That's not it. Patriotism.
Patriotism.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Now, being patriotic, people can be patriotic in various ways. It doesn't
like wearing red and pink. I ain't gonna forgive you for that.
Please forgive me. I'm sure that we'll have some other time to wear the green.
I'm just teasing. So how was your day?
Very well. It was great. I mean, you came
do?
through. You came through to the rescue. It's really horrible if you're not driving at this time. It's such a hard time to be in Nigeria. And,
It is well.
Yeah. Apart from that, everything is great.
Yeah, I love my white. I'm looking very angelic.
Yeah, you look great. And I think I like how you styled it. Basically, because you just had the touch.
Oh yeah,
the accessory
just a touch
made
of green.
Exactly. It makes
I hardly wear this. I've had this for years. I hardly wear it. So I said, you know what? Let us wear green.
Today.
Let's touch it up with a
it's
green
worth
shoe.
something, and it looks great.
Yeah,
looks great.
it's all right. So if you're watching me and you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, today is Independence. For the sake of independence, go and subscribe. All right. So remember to share the link as well. All right, so it's our ladies' night out. As you already know, it's going to be Messi and I. And we're going to look at 64 years of independence. We're asking, has Nigeria moved forward or backward? I know the obvious answer, but please, let's just be very objective and just kind of like dissect the topic, right? And here's what we found as today's quote. It says, nothing is more precious than independence and liberty. This was from Ho Chi Minh. Now, when we open our phone lines, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. But first, let's run off on a break. When we come back from that break, we want to find or see what we found in the news. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, International Day. Today is our independence, right? So October 1st is celebrated every year, October 1st. This day marks the day in 1960 when the country gained its freedom from British colonial rule. October 1st marks Independence Day for several countries, most notably Nigeria, which celebrated independence from British colonial rule in 1960. It's a day filled with national pride, ceremonies, parades, various cultural festivities. This day has also been declared National Day of survival to kick against what they described as bad policies and programs of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who declared it? This second one. National Day of Survivor. Who declared it? Who is the person that declared it?
Well, when did
I don't know. Some people should declare today as National Day for Survivor. But hey, what's your fond memory of independence celebration?
I remember way back then in school, we used to sing in the year
March past. Did you do that?
1960, Nigeria became independent. And then my school actually was actually a private nursery school. And then by the time I moved back to the South, no, of course from Lagos back to the South, and then the uniform was literally green and white. So it just made a lot of sense, you know, to wear that. And whilst you were reading that, that's what I remembered. You know, we used to just...
Did you do the march past?
Oh, yeah, and I was always one of those frontline girls, you know, just with eyes at the banner and all of that.
As you're told.
It's not because I'm tall.
It's because
I don't know for whatever reason, but I mean, I was just like the frontline girl, you know, and all of those kind of parade. It used to be beautiful, you know. So I think those things, singing that, you know, having those songs, you know, in school, basically, and then at some point, growing into adulthood, you also see the fact that people get to wear, like you talked about, green and white.
A touch of the Nigerian color.
You know, so there's usually just a lot of photo pictures being taken. But I don't think that that's almost the case right now, you know, in 2024. If you compare the momentum way back, I mean, we're still very growing then and now. But, you know, it is what it is. We're here. It
is what it is. All right, so what did you find for us in the news, Miss?
Oh, yes. So what I find for us in the news, and this one is, if you look at, if you can quickly please just pop that headline for me. Right, do you see that? It looks a little bit some sort of way funny. But this is what it is. According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, I hope I pronounced it correctly, China is open to extending further loans and making more investments in Nigeria's economy. So the headlines actually read differently, like China is open for more investments, and that was actually a response to a question, but doesn't mean that, you know, that question already sounds like, hey, we're open. I mean, if the...
But what I saw is that they said they are not going to ask for debt.
Yeah, so it came...
relief.
So it was a conversation. That headline is from a conversation where the minister was actually on live television and he was responding to a question, just like you probably have him here. And then we're talking, and then that actually came out from that question. But he was saying that, according to him, that, you know, the federal government has clarified that it's not seeking debt forgiveness from China at this point in time, despite the ongoing conversation about debt relief at the international forum. So that conversation is going on about debt cancellation. And I remember vividly, because that's one of the things I remember about yes, debt cancellation. Every time I remember that, you know, I think about that, I just remember him, you know, his regime got that. And it was really a lot to think that someone has cancelled your debt.
So when I saw that write-up, I say, is it a thing of pride? I mean, I don't understand.
That's exactly. Do you understand?
With all this basic that we have, I mean, if there are opportunities for a debt to be cancelled, why you just?
It's like you
have the money.
I wanted to say what I wanted to say, but I don't remember that I'm on live television and I can't say that. It's not a broadcast language. But then again, I understand that it could come from a place. You know, when you're having a conversation that comes from a conversation might sound differently. So
I mean, even if it's inside a conversation,
I think it was just clarifying.
As the fact I am that like this,
maybe
the gbese on my neck, and we're having a conversation, and you say, no, of course, if there's opportunity because this is debt cancellation, I will take up the offer. How can you just say no? Like,
okay, so you know why that was actually said, because the next thing that was stated was that no, that's not what we're discussing. When it comes to the issue of debt, look at the debt to GDP ratio of Nigeria. We're not even among critical indebted nations.
Of course, I know that.
Exactly. So it's based on that premise that conversation is coming.
An opportunity.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That I mean, if you look at that, no, be say we too old now. We have Angola. We have what's they call them again? Other countries that are highly indebted, and we're just like maybe number 3. If you look at the ratio, we're not really there. So come on, even China is still very open to us. But to be very honest, it's also important for us to note that Nigeria's debt obligation to China had increased almost $500 million in the second half of 2023 to $5.16 billion. So according to the this was according to the new data that was released.
Wow.
Currently, right now, I think we're owing about 91 point something trillion. I don't have the exact, so let's just leave it at 91 trillion naira, right? That's what Nigeria is indebted. And we're talking about total debt.
Just to China?
No, not just to China.
Total debt.
So we're talking about, so what our total debts now to China is about $5.16 billion. That's what we're owing China. And then when we're looking at our total debt in conversion, it's in trillions. So we're talking about 91 trillion.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, so I want to take Franca's story, because Franca was supposed to be here, but I thought this was an important story to mention. It says the indigenous people of Biafra has banned celebration of Nigeria's 64th Independence Day in the Southeast region. In a statement, the separatist group declared that anyone found participating in any activities marking this year's Independence Day will be considered an enemy of the land. It said Igbos should go about their normal business or remain in their houses if they choose to, but must refrain from any form of activities to mark Nigeria's independence. Now, the group insisted that though Igbos were part of the struggle of Nigeria's independence, the union has proven injurious to them. I feel like these Biafra conversations and IPOB and all of that, we actually need to address it. Like, I don't understand why the government keeps shelving this issue. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You have a family, right? And one of your family members is disgruntled. Instead of pretending like they don't exist or pretending like, I beg, when they are tired, they will stop. You can clearly see that they are not stopping, right? You can clearly see that these people, their agitations are valid, because you must first of all understand that their agitations are valid. Their agitations are, I mean, you know how you people just dismiss people's feelings or whatever? No, you can't dismiss it. You must acknowledge it, that the agitations are valid. So, okay, how do we move forward? How do we resolve the issue? But for God knows why, I think the only person that even made an attempt to resolve this issue was Osibajo. Remember the time that, yes, where he
Jonathan.
took over? No, well, Jonathan, yes, but I'm talking about in the last administration between, what's his name? Buhari and Oshibajo's presidency. It was Oshibajo. Remember when President Buhari was not feeling too well and he was away for the longest of time? He just made a very, and I thought that was going to bring a bit of, but it doesn't seem to be, what's it called, to have done any much impact. But so the more the government keeps ignoring like these people don't exist, I don't know how it's going to play out.
The more the issues keep lingering.
It will keep escalating. It's not going to go away. You can't. It's just like somebody, you're having issues, and you think, let me go and get drunk. By the time I get drunk, I'll forget my sorrows. By the time your eye clear from the drunkenness,
you're still there.
The sorrow is still there waiting for you. So that's how it is. So I just hope the government would just really address this Biafran issue. Speak to the leaders. Let us understand the agitations. Then let us find solutions, like find a way forward.
No, I mean, if you say speak to them, it's almost tantamount to, the same saying that the government is calling for a youth confab, part of the presidential speech, your statement that was made or address, if you want to see, however you want to put it. It's almost the same thing as saying, oh, we need another confab, or we need a confab, we need to gather the young people. Young people are every day on the streets. They're protesting. They are speaking to the issues that are concerning them. And you're asking that we need to come again. So if you're saying that, we need to speak to the leaders, the issues are already there. As a matter of fact, I have been born...
So you just feel, let them just address the issues.
So I have been born, to come read the issues. I never existed when all of these things happened. The things that had happened through the war. Apparently, even the 3 hours, the restructuring, the SAP program did not even address some of the issues of that particular war, So those issues are still lingering. Yes, we had the structural adjustment program, but did it address a lot of the issues? No. And that's why you still have all of this. So there's still
So you
a
just
lot
need
of
to
wound
just
that
solve,
needs
yeah,
to heal.
absolutely.
And you understand when one is being hurt, if you look at it from that angle, those wounds will always be there.
Just be there.
And then they just get very bitter, and it just continues. And we understand what the agitation is. The fact that they feel like they are, they are marginalized. This region feels that they don't belong. You see the, the segregation and what have you amongst them. So it's the issues are already on the table, and
so just
address it.
All right, let me take Natasha Akpoti. This was my story. Protest now powerful tool to express our frustration. So the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti Oduagan, has voiced her concerns about Nigeria's growing economic difficulties and the discontent simmering across the nation. Now, in a statement that was signed by her and released, she highlighted the power of protest as a means of for Nigerians rather to express their frustrations amidst the nation's struggles, reflecting on Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. The senator described the country as standing at a crucial junction. She emphasized that the current socio-economic environment, characterized by a steep rise in the cost of living, ongoing protests, and electoral systems hijacked by vested interests, is setting the stage for a significant transformation. Well, we're hoping so. All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back from that break, let's discuss Nigeria at 64. Stay with us. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, as we celebrate Nigeria's 64th independence, tonight we want to have a conversation around some of the pressing questions. And one of which is, has Nigeria moved forward or backwards over these 6 decades plus? Now, as we reflect on our nation's journey, we can't ignore the economic challenges that have marked our path. Rising inflation, unemployment, and the persistent struggles that have affected the lives of millions. But amidst this hardship, we also witness resilience, innovation, and enduring spirit of the Nigerian people. So let us have a conversation, right, on how we can shape our economy and, of course, how we can maybe see the possibilities of opportunities that are ahead of us. Okay, so Mercy, what is Nigeria's current situation? 64. Do you think we have moved forward or we have retrogressed?
So to be very honest, honestly speaking, and the same yardstick you would use to judge the country right now is the same yardstick you would use to measure progress as an individual, as a person. So you want to look at yourself right now and ask yourself, how old are you and where are you right now? To be very honest, you literally might not be where you want to be, but doesn't mean that you're where you used to be. So if you understand. Now, it's sounding like
I'm not where I want to be, but definitely I'm far from where I started. Definitely.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people might just be very shocked that Messi is wearing this cap tonight. It's just a different one entirely, but that's actually the reality. And I'm just being very objective. Yes, there are areas where progress have been made, and there are areas where, we've had setbacks, and they're very evident in 2024, right? So it would be very wrong for anyone to wake up and say, oh, Nigeria has not made any progress as a country. And especially if we're tracking down from 1960, when we gained independence, we have moved, darling. Because once upon a time, I remember not too long ago, we didn't even have, technology, all of these mobile devices that we have, and the fact that we're communicating. I remember way back then, I think I was still in school, mobile phones were not anything to recon. Do you understand? But I'm not even going to go back to, I'm not going to jump to that part of it. I like to say that Nigeria has actually recorded, some sort of progress in different areas. Just like I've said that there are also setbacks also in different areas. So first off, you want to look at economic growth. Nigeria has experienced a period of economic growth, significant economic growth, which was actually driven by the oil exports, and which is still almost very dominant up until 2024, which actually led us to becoming Africa's biggest or Africa's largest economy. Right. That was, I mean, from the oil. So there's been a lot of record. We also want to look at that, several other sectors that have in growth. I mean, that we've experienced growth. You want to look at the fintech sector. You want to talk about, the telecommunication. You want to also look at, the entertainment sector, Nollywood and all of that. So economically, we've literally experienced a lot of, growth and expansion. We're not where we used to be. The different sectors have evolved. We're seeing a lot that has happened. Now, let's also move away from that and look at our democracy. Yes, our democracy might not be what it should be right now, because usually there's what ought to be and what is. And what we're currently experiencing is what is not what ought to be. So if you look at it from 1999, because prior to this time, Africa, Nigeria, witnessed a lot of instability. Instability was part of it that I even came to begin to read in the books, and was taught in classes where there were a lot of military truncation and all of that happened. And so just hold on. I know where you're going. So I start off on a good note.
What is, are you inside my mind?
Yeah, because
I just wanted to ask you a question.
Just hold on. So what I'm trying to say that I've moved away from economic progress, that we have made economic progress. I'm also looking at our democracy, like I stated earlier on, that we have also, it's been great because from 1999, we have witnessed some stability. We've not had any military truncation or interruption of, a civil or democratic society. As much as we understand that our elections have been marred by irregularities, there's a lot of fraud in the electoral process. We cannot say that, it's a perfect system entirely, but we have just said that we have experienced some set of stability in terms of having a civic or a democratic dispensation. And you can understand if you've ever witnessed a military government, then you would know that some people will argue that the best form of a military government is still not the best form of any government.
Okay, can I come in now?
Now, go ahead. You can come
because you have to let me talk. I just wanted to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What does progress mean to you? Because the question is, have we moved forward or we have moved backward?
So I answered.
So what is the definition of forward movement as a people? So I get your explanation. So it's a different thing. So I have set a goal, right? And I say that in the next 60 years, this is where I want to be. If in 60 years' time I come back and I sit down and I look back, those 6 decades, right? What are the parameters I'm supposed to be taking off my list that would show that there has been a significant forward movement from where I started? So what does being moving forward, what does that mean to you?
So like I said again, I mean, you will take me back. I'm not even going to make instances to, I'm not going to try to point to specifics right now, but I'm still going to stay with what I started off with. Like I said, with every human being, we set out as a person, as individuals, we have like goals.
Mercy, the fact that I was a baby 0 years ago, I'll be 0 year ago, and now I'm an adult, you understand, 60 years later, does that qualify to say that I have moved forward? Do you understand? It has not qualified me to say that I have moved forward. What are the parameters that I'm supposed to set that shows that there has been some level of progress from when I started to where I am today? You must put those parameters. You can't just say that, oh yes, the fact that we're here. Yeah, we are here. And I can tell you for free, this economy you're talking about, right? Many years ago, when you graduated as a student, they used to give you full live chicken inside the NYSC camp for you to eat it by yourself. People used to come into your hostels to help you clean. There were scholarships for students, fully funded scholarships. You understand? For people to study, for people were declining oil and gas jobs. They were going into lecturing. They were going to all sorts of other jobs. Our agricultural sector was good. We were not import dependent like what we have today. And it's not like the arid land disappeared. We still have arable lands today. So if you say that we have moved, it's an illusion.
No, it is
no,
not.
It is an illusion, because
okay, so
if we have moved forward, the question is not about whether we are moving. We are moving, yes. But the question is, have we moved forward or we have moved backwards? As far as I am concerned, we have retrogressed, because if there is growth, if there is progress, we should have built on the foundation of what we already had. Some of these things that we're talking about, right? The structure, look at all the quality roads, the quality housing, and all of those things that we had in the 60s, in the 70s, right? All of those things, we should have built on them. But where are those properties today? Where are those things today? Where are those good roads today? We don't have them. Do you understand? So, I don't think we have moved forward. We might be moving, but definitely not forward. That's my opinion.
And that's your opinion, and, it's great to have that opinion. But like I stated earlier on, I would also say that as much as we want to, judge or...
I'm not judging.
No. So the word is whether analyze, look at it. It's a period of reflection. It's as though when you turn a year plus, when it becomes your birthday, for a lot of people, as individuals, you sit back. You can't, as a person, like I said again, I might have goals, you might have goals, you might have projection as an individual, and then you don't meet those projections. Does not mean that you have not made progress. No. That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
So you're not. So if you do see, you need to look at. I'm not going to try to convince you.
There's a definition of progress.
So what is progress?
When you set goals, progress is in its term. The way the term is progress.
No, so you cannot. Nothing actually.
Forward. Let's use the word forward.
Nothing
the
actually.
One we put for there.
Nothing actually is absolute. Everything is relative. That's the word.
So you want to tell me what progress means to you is different from what progress means to me.
So
when you say it's relative, what does it mean?
So I'm trying to tell you that we can't say that Nigeria has not made progress.
I don't know.
So we have made progress.
I've not said progress.
Have we moved forward?
Have we moved forward?
Yes, we have. We have. No, so see, the thing, you need to understand that you have moved forward. I don't want to, I will try as much as I can not to, paint my own self, use myself as an example to say, have I moved forward? Because you've had some setbacks. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be very objective.
Let me define progress.
Go ahead.
From the dictionary meaning, Oxford, let me take this second definition. It says development towards an improved or more advanced condition. Come on. Be realistic, Messi.
No.
You can't be moving. This is development towards an improved or more advanced condition. So when we say we are making progress, right? When we are making progress, it means that we have moved from where we were, and there is a clear improvement.
And that's what...
let me finish. There's clear advanced conditions. The living conditions of Nigerians today, we are not there. So we are not there at all. So when you say it is okay for you to want to be, to be optimistic.
No, I'm not being optimistic.
No, you are being optimistic.
No, I'm not being.
You are.
No, to be very honest, I'm not being optimistic. I'm being realistic, and I'm being
this is not realistic.
Hold on.
Because if you are being realistic,
you can't say you're asking. The question you're asking is 64 years of independence. Has Nigeria moved forward or backward? And I'm saying that we have moved forward, but have we moved in the pace that we should move? No, you can't say that we haven't moved. Okay, so cast your back. Let's cast our mind back to 1960. What were the things that happened in 1960? No. First off, no. Wait. No, wait. I want to ask you a question.
You asked me a question. I want to respond to you.
No, wait. Let me ask you another question, and I want you to answer me. So, one of the issues about when you talk about independence, one of the things that you want to look at is the fact that a country has the right, to coordinate her affairs independently without any interference of any forces, whether internal or external.
So what gives you the right?
Now wait.
What gives you the right to say that there are no interference in our electoral processes today?
Wait, you're not even. You see, while I was analyzing, that's why I say it's very okay for us to look at things objectively. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Tonight, I'm wearing a very, I'm not on this side, I'm not on the other side. Like I started earlier when I said, you can't wake up and say, from
60, because if we're 40, 64 years today as a country, and you wake up to ask, have we moved forward or we have moved backward? We have made progress. We have. We're not where we used to be. Were you in 1960? Call back and ask, okay, between the period of 1960 to 1999, democratically, can you tell what happened? There was no stability in our government. There was political instability. Now, when you talk about political instability, the fact that hold on, you check
you're not letting me talk. You're just attacking. Let me respond to you.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Let me respond.
I will finish.
You're talking about you are talking. Let me pick your words one after the other. You are talking about political stability. The question is, in the 2023 general election, do you think that was a politically stable election?
And I am saying, when I started,
when people are being hurt, people are being threatened, people are being whatever.
So we are talking about
So hold on. So you are saying realistic.
You're not getting it.
If you told me that we are moving, yes.
I told you.
We are moving forward. We're not moving forward.
No, see,
we're not moving forward.
You are saying that have we made progress? And I'm saying that we have.
And I've defined
that's your definition.
No, it's not my definition.
No, so to be very honest, I like to always have conversations where we have conversations, and it's not like I'm not trying to get you on my side, but I'm only trying to get you to see the point. That's exactly what you're saying. And before you started this, because I know that there is nobody that has it all together, including, unfortunately, the country. And I started by saying that even as an individual, you can't come up and wake up and tell yourself that as it is. A lot of us wake up. There are a lot of Nigerians who are beating themselves about, and sometimes you wake up, you as an individual, you look at yourself and say, you feel like you're left out, you feel like you've not done anything, you feel like people have moved on when you want to compare, because that's what happens. It happens, we begin to look at...
I am not comparing Nigeria with any other country.
No way!
I am comparing Nigeria from Listen,
who are just
the things my parents told me when they were growing up and where we are today. We have not progressed.
No.
Let's take a break. We will come back.
We can take the break. But to be very honest, I just think that...
Let's take a break. Drink water. Stay with us. Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future.
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's definitely a hot ladies' night out. And we're discussing Nigeria 64, right? 64 years of independence. We're asking, has Nigeria moved forward or backwards? That's the question. Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our phone lines are now open. The numbers to call are 07025007749 or 07014242420. Remember to turn off the volume of whatever device it is that you are watching us from so we don't get a feedback. Mercy, you asked a question, and I want to redefine this, and it is not my definition. It is a dictionary definition. Development towards an improved or more advanced condition. Have we improved as a country? Are we in a more advanced situation as a country? The answer is a big no. Because you see, there's something in psychology, right, where they say that people that compare, so for instance, I say, oh, because my father drove keke, because my father was a keke driver or he rode a bicycle, when I grow up and I'm now driving maybe a motorbike or I'm even driving a car, I will say I have made progress. No, I'm comparing myself with my father. Let me compare myself with my contemporaries across board. That is when I can now comfortably say that I have made progress. Because again, maybe at my time, maybe what is obtainable amongst my contemporaries are SUVs and all the big names. Those are the things that I compare with. So I am not even comparing Nigeria with other countries. I'm comparing Nigeria with itself, right? The living conditions, how people used to live, the quality of the education, the quality of healthcare, the quality of a lot of things, the quality of our roads, our housing, so many things that people could access. There was water running from taps in this country. I want to bring up what Chidi Mokeme, I think it was Chidi Mokeme that posted something on social media, and when I see these things, it is just because when you're talking reality, I'm saying, are you being what's it called, pessimistic or sorry, optimistic, or you are being realistic? Because if it is reality, you're not being real. Because this is where we are in Nigeria. There was a time in this country everything worked. Everything worked. Now he says, I congratulate every Nigerian who, in spite of the cluelessness of government, continues to independently provide their own security, healthcare, electricity, light, education, welfare, food. Even if na 010, now you be your own government. He then goes on to say, for light, I provide my own transformer. I provide my own electric pole. I provide my own electric cables. I provide my own electricity meter. Even though these items I provided don't belong to me, they belong to the government, but I still have to cover maintenance costs. On top of that, I still have to provide my own generator, buy fuel, diesel, and most ridiculous prices to run generators to provide my own electricity. He says for water, I provide my own borehole. I provide my own water pipes. I provide my own water storage tanks. I provide my own pumping machines and still have to buy diesel at ridiculous prices to be able to pump and provide my own water. For security, I provide my own house gate. I provide my own street gate. I provide my own estate gate. I provide my own gas men to man this gate. And still on top of that, now God hand, make straight bullet, no go hit person for outside. He goes on for healthcare, fake doctors, fake nurses, fake drugs, fake everything. And we still pay. But prayer still they work, because now only God, go make person, he said education unko, infrastructure unko, development unko, good governance unko. So I mean, this is not when you say you want to speak to reality, speak to our reality. There was a time in this country there was a time in this country that I didn't need to know anybody. Federal schools were the top schools. All these so-called people in power today, they were beneficiaries of scholarships, free education, quality healthcare, quality water, everything. There was a time in this country that all of these people benefited. So when you tell me that we have made progress, I say a capital no. We haven't made any progress. So we might be moving as a country, but we've not made progress.
So we have moved.
Clear.
So you said that there was a time in this country where everything worked. There was not a time in this country where things have worked, but there are times where we have made progress. And I'll still say that. Like I'll always make reference to like I started earlier on. Have we made progress? Are we moving forward as a country? Yes.
No.
Because wait. That's my opinion, and you are entitled to your opinion, and I have my opinion, and I'm giving you my own reason why I think that we have made progress. You have your reason why you have made progress, and that's fine, right? So for me, like I said earlier on, have we made progress as a country? Yes, we have made progress as a country. Have we also experienced setbacks? Yes, we have. Are we supposed to be, should we have been better than this? The question is yes. Well, I cannot sit down here and agree with you or, and even, it's fine, but I will not agree with the fact that, we'd also come and say, 64 years and everybody saying, because I hear that, yes, we understand the feeling. We know where we are right now. We know where it's biting. And we cannot wake up and say, once upon a time it was bad. Let me remind you vividly that even the issue of fuel scarcity that you're talking about, that you're even saying that this country, where there was once upon a time that everything was bad.
Me.
No, wait, no, you said that.
It's
now.
Okay,
so you were quoting him. You quoting him means that you believe what he said. That's why you were alluding to what he was saying, that things are so horrible. See, I understand that nothing can actually be to the other side. That's one thing we need to know. I'm not holding brief for bad governance or all of the ills that are going on. But I'm literally also trying to acknowledge the fact that, yes, if we're looking at where we're coming from and where we are now, yes, progress has been made. But is it significant compared to what? That's what it is.
Messi
So,
changing English language.
that's what I'm saying.
I just define, I beg, check your own
So
phone
now, let
and
me
define
wait,
progress for yourself.
wait.
What does progress mean to you, for goodness sake?
Let me now ask you again.
That you are growing up means that you are progressing?
Wait, it's not a matter of growing
progress
up.
now.
It's not a matter of growing up. The numbers are growing up. I'm telling you we're talking about issues. It's not numbers. It's not in the numbers. I didn't say because we have added numbers. I mentioned sectors. While I was talking, I mentioned, you didn't even allow me to go to the end of it, but I had started off and I said, see this sector. And I told you, I mentioned the sector and I said, this was what led us to this. This is what is even going on. And even currently right now, that's what's still sustaining us. Even though we have other options, but have we failed? Yes, we have. Then I'm also trying to tell you now this. Let me finish.
Messi, wait,
no, but you wanted me to finish. I held the thought I was going to.
No, you talked about sector. Let us break it down one after the other.
No, but can you allow me finish this question I want to ask you? You talked about the issue of, like, they said, oh, everything has been perfect. Things used to work before now. And I want to remind you that once upon a time, even this issue of fuel scarcity that we're still experiencing in 2024, in the 80s it started. Even in the military era, there was fuel scarcity. That's when it began. 1983 to 1985. Even during General Sani Abacha's time, there was fuel scarcity. So it's never been that everything has been perfect. But we have been making progress. Now wait till they try talk now.
You just cast yourself because they talk about progress.
Yes. You they talk say everything there was a time that everything worked. Everything has never worked like that. I'm only trying to tell you that as a human being, and I'm also using that to judge as a country. We have not. Have we moved? Yes. Significantly, we have made progress. I'm not talking about numerically. If you remember, if they show you 1960, when the country, Lagos, been there,
there was a time
is it the
in this
same?
country.
Does it look the same?
Hold on.
Okay, if they want to play a picture of 1960 of your state, it look like that now.
So let me
or 1960 of other part of this Nigeria, be the same.
My state is worse off.
So me, I'm trying to tell you that as much as we think that it's worse off, there has been a progress. That is how life is. You cannot just wake up and say there's no progress because things are not working. No, it doesn't work like that.
It's so bizarre to understand where your mind is at. Because if you define progress, the clear dictionary meaning of progress is clear. But you're talking about economy. All the warehouses that we have across, that were all warehouses and manufacturing plants and all of that, what are they converting them to now? To churches. We don't have manufacturing plants. Most of the things that we consume, today in this country are being imported. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
There was a time where a lot of things that we consumed, we grew those things, even down to the kind of clothes we wore. We had textile companies that were producing our fabrics.
Facts.
We had farmlands that were providing curtains that we then converted into raw materials to provide fabrics. So what is your definition of progress?
I'm telling you
you're telling me progress.
So
wait, is that you have moved let me finish. You have moved from where you were before, and you have improved on where you were. All of those, those textile companies, all of them are all shut down.
So when I started, did I say that we have not had shortfalls? It's what you are failing to acknowledge. As much as we have had shortfalls, in the economy, which I originally, when I started, I said, yes, we have recorded significant, yes, those sectors have closed, but have we not also had rise in the issue of telecommunication? Have telecommunication not risen? These economies, are they not growing? Is the fintech also not growing? Is the entertainment sector not also growing? Please, I'm just only trying to tell you that we have made progress. We have also failed. It's simple. So if you approach it like that, it makes sense. We can't just wake up and say, Nigeria is all bad. This Nigeria is as bad as it's bad. There are still things that are still good and are working. It's not a perfect country. That's what I'm trying to say. But we can't literally just wake up and say, we haven't made progress. And I can't stand there because even as a human being, if anybody wakes up to tell me that because I don't own a car, I have not made progress in my life, I feel chook am hand for eye. And that's serious because you can't. Yes, do I want to have a car? Yes, I want to have a car. But I'm just trying to say that as a human being, it's the same way we're judging the country. You look at your life now. You cannot tell me that you of 20 years ago, if somebody looks at you now and I want to begin to say something, you will know that you have made progress, significant progress. But it might not be where you want to be. And that's a different conversation entirely. And that's where I'm driving this at. But, you know, it would just totally be very wrong. See, this country is not working. Like I started off by saying, I didn't wake up to say, oh, it's not that we were there, or I'm blind to all of these issues. Inflation has come, the setbacks, but you didn't let me get there. You just said, oh, no, we haven't made progress because we're just supposed to say that we have made progress. Honestly, I think that we need to be very realistic as a people.
So if you say that Nigeria of 60 years ago and comparing it to Nigeria of today, what would have been what would have been ideal for you to define it as progress? If you say this one that we're facing now,
I started off, one of the things that I started off by saying is, if you look at our democracy, we have from 1999, and that's, to be very honest, I don't remember how it was in the military era. I can't remember the things that happened. But of course, I know that my parents and the people who experienced the war and the people who were at that time will tell you that it was not something that is beautiful. That even you and I sitting here now talking cannot even have the ability. See, there are a lot of things that are going on in this country that I understand. See, I totally understand. Me, I'm on that side of the divide that I feel it. But I also can tell you that there are some things that are working for us. It's something that we should celebrate. Our democracy is not perfect. I am not happy. I covered the elections. I've covered the elections. I have covered the elections in 2015. I know. I went to the creeks. I'm not talking about the city. I'm not talking about Ikeja. I'm talking about going to Bakassi, to the forest. I'm going to all those places where I see no roads, where there are no roads. When I see evil forests, I'm driving all through the whole Bakassi and all those places. I'm combing, trying to bring the news and seeing how underdeveloped we are and seeing how people are impoverished. I understand, but I'm trying to tell you that for the fact that we've even had a democratic dispensation, even that's the only thing we want to celebrate. I'm not even supporting mediocrity or all the nonsense that's going on. I'm not in support. But I'm trying to say that at least we should begin to look at it from that angle that, oh yes, even in terms of, okay, saying political stability, we have experienced that. We've not had any military truncation, no military intervention since 1999 till 2024. It's a plus for our democracy. Is our democracy okay? No. Do we have election irregularities and fraud? Yes. Are people vote buying? Are political people rigging the election? Yes. But is democracy still going on? It's not a perfect democracy. Do we prefer to have a military government? As much as a lot of people have argued, at some point, I also want to believe that a military government should have been a perfect one. But to be very honest, do you think that a military government is the best government? Some people have argued that the worst form of democracy is still better than the best form of military government. And that's the argument. So this is where I am coming from. We have had by now, I think that Nigeria should be very strong on even production of our own cars. But that's not happening. But have we made progress in some areas? We have. And that's how life should be approached. Not on the fact that, oh, you are totally not there on that divide. So that's where I'm coming from.
Are you calm now?
I am calm.
Okay. So join the conversation in case you are watching. You can call us on 07025.
That will stress me so much in this country. I'm tired.
07749 or 0701424240. Do you agree with Mercy? So for me, I feel there are some things that were great foundations that were already built. The kinds of schools we had, all the missionary schools and all of those things. For me, progress would have been that we would have built on those things. But most of the schools that we have, especially in our educational sector right now, they are all dilapidated. Most of them. Right? There's a lot of backwardness. I mean, yesterday, I took a story about ASU trying to go on another strike again, all in the name of, again, the same issues around their demands not being met. Look at the kind of curriculum that are being taught in school. I'm not about the what's it called? Yeah, I get you about some parts. Now, significant progress in some part. But I look at critical sectors. Critical sectors is our educational sector because those are the things that would guarantee that our future is secured. If the educational sector is fixed, we would have a better economy. We'll have, like most of the challenges that we have today would be like, let's say 60 or to 70% solved once we are able to solve the educational gap that we have in our country. And if a government is not paying attention to the educational sector, as far as I'm concerned, you have not progressed. Healthcare, the same thing. Our infrastructural deficit is still a big problem. So for me, you might be doing some things, and as far as I'm concerned, some things are just window dressing. if there is a problem and it's a structural problem, it's a foundational problem, and you are not addressing that problem, and you are going to go and paint the building, as far as I'm concerned, you are not progressing, because if that structure, if that foundation decides to collapse today, it means that everything that you think you're doing is all gone. So as far as Nigeria is not addressing the fundamental, foundational, structural problems that we are having in Nigeria, then we are not progressing. If the government wants to show me that they are progressing, it's a lot of things that I will start to see. Education, for one, will change. We have a caller. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. On this topic, is Nigeria making progress or not? Well, for me, it's a total capital no. Because the major things, most of the things that are supposed to develop this country are the ones holding us back.
Thank you.
For instance, the other lady or woman in pink is saying in some aspect, we are making progress. But the same thing that's supposed to help us, improve us, are the ones bringing us down. The major things that the government had, she said in the line of other things like, let's say, entertainment and all that. What about the masses? What about we that we are into, self-employed and all that? So many things are failing. So for me, the total no.
Thank you, Toyin.
Nigeria has not made any bit of progress.
Thank you, Toyin. I don't know how to explain this argument.
No.
So for my child, wait, let me explain something to you, Mercy. For a child, right? A child is born plain, right? And what you're supposed to do as a parent to that child is to first of all give the child the capacity to stand on their own, right? So it means that for everything, you're educating the child, you're infusing knowledge into that child, you're putting a lot of things into the mind of that child so that that child can be self-sustained. In Nigeria today, the core of where the problem, the heart of the problem is, we don't see it. I mean, there was a time where education was a big deal in this country, where people, like literally a poor man's child. See, you don't need to give me money. But if you educate me, if you empower me, what happens is that I can generate whatever it is that I want to generate just by the mere fact that I was educated. And this is what a lot of our leaders enjoyed whilst they were growing up. Most of them lived, like literally they were sent abroad under the government's national scholarship. Where are those things today? Why did we lose all of those things? Why didn't we build on those things? I get you. Creative sector is doing well. All of those sectors are doing well. But we need to look at what is the core. What is the foundational problem that we have in this country? And if we do not solve that foundational problem, if no significant progress have been made at the level of that foundation, whatever we are doing is just going to be crumbled.
Okay. So when you talk about foundational problems, what are you referring to at this point? Because, like I said earlier on, if you are going to examine a 64-year-old man or a country as Nigeria, and you want to look at whether or not there's been some sort of movement forward or backwards, I would say yes. In that light, there's been movement forward. There's also been setbacks. Not to entirely say there's no move, because I don't think that there's anybody on earth. I don't even think that there's any country on earth, including the worst country, that has not made significant progress. Yeah, I hear you with those issues that you have talked about. There are a lot of issues. Some people will not even agree that is even at the core of education. Others, like, the great scholar like Chinua Achebe had literally said, go ahead.
Let me just quickly take this caller. Good evening. You're live.
Hello, good morning. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very good program. But let me tell you, let me draw your attention to something we need to know in this country. If the insecurity of a thing is not out of the road, there is nobody, honestly. If the country tell you the kind of amount they are spending of the security, or the way the military is in the Northeast, you will know that until that solution being found out, that is the way the country can live. We have been saying this thing for the five years ago, that the farmer cannot go to farm. The country cannot move forward without security. So let us tackle that security. If the country can win the security of a thing, the challenges is out, and bet you, if whatever anybody come to that seat, you will be able to do something.
Thank you, Wande. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Finalize your thoughts.
So, some people, like the great scholars, Chinua Achebe would say that the problem with Nigeria is not in her structure or any other thing, but is with the leadership. And I think that leadership encompasses even the issue of education and other aspects that you're seeing at the core. Because if you have leadership that provides direction, that has vision, for instance, you would understand that even in our education, like I said earlier on, we've had setbacks, but we have also moved, you know. And you look at our education and you find out that we're not even meeting the UNESCO quota for budgetary allocation. We don't even allocate up to 10% in terms of our budget, the total budget to educational sector. That's also a problem. You also want to look at the curriculum. And we can't also let the people out of it. We have also become very criminally minded. There's a lot of, criminality that is, in the system that the people are also practicing and the system is aiding. So at the end of the day, it's just encompassing, like I rightly stated. If we're going to just say we're reviewing a thing, then it would be we're saying we're reviewing. Where were we, and where are we now? Yes, progress has been made, but we've also had setbacks, and these are the setbacks that we're talking about.
All right, I'll leave it there because I can't argue anymore on this.
No point.
All right, so thank you so much for everyone that called in. Unfortunately, we can't take any more calls. Before we go, ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Are you calm now?
Very calm.
Okay, it was nice doing this with you.
Oh, well.
Franca was supposed to be the one to calm the situation, but unfortunately, she's not here.
Apparently, Franca was around. I'm sure I would have been in the middle.
Franca left you behind.
I took Franca's seat.
I can bet you it would have been two of us against you, but I don't know. I'm not on Franca's mind. All right, so if you missed our quote for today, here it is again. Nothing is more precious than independence and liberty, right? We're happy that we have our independence, but we're just hoping that we have better leaders. I mean, you rightly said the leadership structure is the challenge. So we want to look forward to better leadership in Nigeria. And happy 64th birthday again, Nigeria. We're hoping for greater and a better Nigeria. See you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen.
Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Raise Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.